Spring, through the CLIP program, I had an opportunity to travel to Uganda. As always, when traveling to a foreign country, I prepared myself to face a variety of differences, the hardest of which I thought would be seeing global poverty for the first time.
Like many who go to the University of Maryland, I have never been exposed to real poverty before, and got my definition of global poverty from television advertisements that are shown all over the country. These heart-wrenching videos show the devastating effects that poverty can have while asking for money to help these seemingly helpless people. Though the facts about how devastating poverty can be are true, they leave viewers with a false perception about the people who live in poverty.
Someone in poverty, I look at it as, lower class. I immediately think of inner cities or third world countries.
They probably don't have access to a doctor, a dentist, or any of those types of things, and they probably can't have good hygiene to maintain a healthy lifestyle, like brushing their teeth or something.
Many of them live in poor conditions, don't have kitchens, beds, struggle to, make it really themselves. But I sometimes feel they use poverty or their lack of whatever as a crutch instead of taking action and doing something about it.
I had many of the same thoughts and feelings about poverty, and expected to be overcome with sadness when I saw the living conditions of the people in Uganda. But yet, during my 10 days there, this rarely ever happened. In fact, I was able to stay happy and upbeat, even when faced with poverty.
This is Henry's house, and by most people's definition, he lives in poverty. His family lives in a 2-room brick building. They cook their meals outside and sleep on a floor that chickens roam around on during the day. Before a week's work, they didn't have easy access to water or a place for his family to wash their hands.
And this is Florence, Henry's daughter, a beautiful girl in tattered clothes who could have easily been the spotlight of an aid advertisement. Over the days of being at her house and watching her care and play for her younger siblings, I saw how they may have not had a lot of material things, but were rich in other areas of their lives. They had a strong sense of family and community, much stronger than in some developed countries. And though they did not have a lot of money, they were resourceful and came up with ingenious ways to make ends meet, like building their own ladders and saving money by using bottle caps as washers. During my time in Uganda and with Henry's family, I was able to see past the materialistic definition of poverty, past not having a bed or a kitchen, past the tattered clothes of the dirty children, because after all, what kid do you know that doesn't get dirty, and past expecting everyone to have the same comforts that I have. I realized firsthand that it's not the assets that people have that matter, it's the people themselves that are the assets.
Poverty isn't defined by the lack of things, but is when people are unable to reach their full potential. It is about opportunities, and when given the opportunities, people do rise to them. This is what the aid commercials leave out. Poverty is a serious and crippling issue around the world, but we need to learn how to define it in order to combat it. Opportunities like Florence being able to wash her hands showed us she wasn't just a poverty-stricken child. She has potential, and hopefully thanks to the work of organizations like FSD and REAP, a life of opportunities ahead of her. With this realization, I no longer felt the sadness that was induced by the advertisements, but instead, hopeful and optimistic, with the knowledge of what people like Henry and Florence are capable of achieving.
Go on and close the curtains, 'cause all we need is